what if my launch fails? This is probably every person's biggest fear when they are launching something new. Okay. And that is something that I have worried about, something that my clients have worried about, something that many of my friends have worried about. And it's definitely something that always kind of pops up, especially when, you're in the middle of a particularly difficult part of your launch and you're like, what if I'm doing all this work for nothing and this fails? Okay. So today I want to talk a little bit about why launches fail, share about some of my own failed launches and some of my clients' failed launches, so to speak, how you can avoid a failed launch, and what you can learn even if you don't hit your goals. Okay. So I want to tell you a story quickly about my clients. I was speaking to some clients recently who had a pretty disappointing launch. Now, when I say disappointing, they had a multiple 5-figure launch. So for some people that might be not disappointing at all. And, but they wanted to hit six figures with this launch and they didn't. So that was their goal. They didn't hit it. So they felt like it was disappointing. Okay. So the numbers were there. All right. But digging deeper, we realized after speaking to them for a little while that this was the first time that they sold the program at this price point. Okay. The last time they launched, they sold it at $500 less. And they were selling it now for $500 more. And they were not 100% comfortable with selling it at this price. Not because the value wasn't enough, because it really was. And I mean, you can ask any person who even takes a look at that course, at that program, it was completely worth the value, if not more. Okay. And not because nobody bought at that price, because people did. Okay. So this price was validated. People had bought it at this price. They just weren't used to charging their audience that much for something. Okay. Now they were used to charging their one-to-one clients that much, but charging their customer audience, they weren't used to it. So because they went into this launch kind of out of alignment with their pricing, which we're currently working on, helping them get into alignment with their pricing, I really truly believe that was the energy that spilled into the launch and actually inhibited their results. So now that we look back and identified what during that launch didn't work, and we're working on it now, or I'm coaching them through this, I know that their next launch is going to be much more successful because they're going to go into it with much more alignment. Okay, so the important thing to realize is this. Number one, if you don't try, you definitely will fail, right? Because you'll never have launched in the first place. So honestly, if you don't risk something, you won't necessarily lose anything, but you won't be any further along than you already are. So launching and failing is better than not launching at all, because once you launch once, even if you fail, and people have different definitions of what a failed launch is, okay? You should be able to look back and debrief. And it is so important after a launch to sit down with it and figure out why it didn't work before moving on. I know people are very much like push forward and positive mindset and, just keep going and keep going. Yes, you should keep going. But before you keep going, I want you to sit down and have a thought about what didn't work and why didn't it work, and dig deep into that, because once you know, you'll be able to actually prevent that in the future. Okay. So whenever I had a failed launch, when I say a failed launch, I'm going to just say either I just didn't hit the numbers I wanted to hit. I did not get as many inquiries as I wanted to get. I maybe didn't convert as many people from the sales calls as I wanted to convert. So I was able to identify the reasons pretty quickly. So number one is I honestly just started off strong and something happened. I didn't follow through and didn't do the right amount of promotion. All right, when you're launching, however much you think you're posting and that is too much, you need to be posting more. All right, because whether you're posting on social media, you're sending emails, you're doing videos, whatever it is, not all of your audience is going to see every single one of your posts. Okay, that is a fact. It is an algorithmic fact. Okay, so if you think you're sending too much, you probably are not, and you probably should be sending more. Okay, so posting multiple times a day, you should be sending emails, during the launch period, definitely daily, and the last couple of days, send definitely 2 or 3, okay, to remind people that cars are closing. People always feel like they don't want to bother people, right? They're like, oh, I don't want to bother, I don't want to be annoying, I don't want to get in front of their face. If you don't get in front of their face, they're not going to remember who you are and what you're selling, and they're going to forget about it until the launch is over. And then I'd be like, oh shoot, oh yeah, that happened, and I didn't even know when it was ending because I didn't see the post telling us when it was ending, right? So make sure that you're posting enough and follow through and do the right amount of promotion. Number 2 is maybe I was feeling out of alignment with the offer, the pricing. So like I discussed right before, you might feel like this is a good offer, but someone told you need to charge more, or someone told you need to charge less. Someone told you, oh, you shouldn't be charging that much. That's too much. Charge less. And now you feel yucky going into it because you feel like it's worth more, and you feel like, honestly, like I've sold things that I realized I really resented having to deliver on because I felt like I didn't charge enough, and that's a really awful feeling. Because I don't want to resent the people that I'm helping. I want to be excited about it. So you have to make sure to price something that you're excited about, but something you also feel very confident in the level of support that you're giving. You want your pricing to be in alignment with the level of of value, how much training, how many resources or shortcuts or whatever it is that you're giving people. Make sure that you are showing up with that confidence that that is something that will definitely, like, people should be thanking you for putting up. Okay. Number 3 is I wasn't completely clear on the result that my offer would bring. So I knew what I'd be teaching people, but I wasn't clear on, okay, people are here and they want to be there, and therefore this is going to help them get them from A to B, right? So if you're not clear on the result that your offer will bring, it's going to be very hard for you to sell it, honestly, because people care about the results. People don't care about the process. People don't care about how many trainings you're doing. People don't care about the amount of Trello boards you're creating for them. People don't care about I'm giving extra coaching. They care about what the results of those trainings and Trello boards and extra coaching is actually going to bring them at the end. So if you're not completely clear on the result the offer is going to bring, you're not going to be able to speak to the results, and people are probably not going to buy because they're not clear on it either. Okay. A fourth reason was that I wasn't adequately prepared for the scope of the launch, and I just burned out halfway through. So that was kind of like the first one, right? I started off strong, it didn't follow through. I thought it was going to take less than it actually did, and I just totally burned out, and I wasn't ready, and so I just kind of fizzled out in the middle. Okay, and that is why I really truly believe that preparation is so important before a launch. Yes, you can launch intuitively. Yes, you can launch about things that you're excited about, but be prepared. Know what you're talking about. Know what your content's going to be about. Know what you're coming and teaching and educating and sharing every single day. Know the objectives people are going to have. You have to know all this stuff before you launch, because if you are not prepared, it's going to be super stressful, and burnout really can happen. And it's a shame because you probably put already so much work into it, and now it's not going to succeed. Okay, so when I've ever had a failed launch, or my clients have maybe had a failed launch, it was one of those things always. And when all of these things were in place, right? Preparation, clarity, alignment, and adequate promotion, I filled live masterclasses, I filled group programs, I hit over 3K in a weekend and 4K in a week, and not to mention my client results. Okay, my clients had 75K launches in a week. They've had 5-figure launches for beta offers that actually surpassed their goals. We've had the amount of leads coming in doubled, and more clients closed in 1 month than ever before. Okay, so when they felt completely aligned, when they were showing up consistently, when they were clear on the result they could give, and when they were promoting it enough and adequately prepared, magic happened. And I want that to happen for you. So yeah, failed launches are scary. The idea of having a failed launch is scary, but what's more scary? Never launching anything and staying in the exact same place you are now. Because even if a launch does fail, you can look back, look at the numbers, look at exactly what you did, and I know you'll be able to identify exactly where you could have done better, and you know that the next time you launch, you will do better and you will succeed. So I hope this has helped you. If you are scared of having a failed launch, don't be, because it is not the worst thing that can ever happen. Okay, so many very, very successful people that I know have had failed launches. They've gone on to have many, many successful ones. So if, everyone's going to fail at some things at some point, but failing is better than never trying. And I want you to realize that. So if you want to create an offer that you are clear on a result, that you feel aligned with the value and the pricing, that you're excited about selling, then grab my free offer creation training and workbook that will help you build out your next offer that sells. The link is in the description or in the comments below. Make sure to check that out. I did this in my Facebook group live, and it was fantastic, and people really, really got a lot of ahas and inspiration and clarity from this training. I want you to have that too. So check out the training in the workbook. It is completely free, and I'd love to see you put out your new offer very, very soon. Have a great day.